what is Druid, and what is the problem that it aims to solve?
Druid is an in-memory, or mostly in-memory, distributed column data store.
Okay.
And we built Druid because nothing like it existed in the open source community, and our entire stack is built largely on open source components, and we felt it didn't exist, we had to build it.
So I was reading through some Druid-related blog posts, and I kept coming across the phrase, quote, arbitrary combinations. What are those, and what challenges do they create?
So one of the central challenges for any type of analytical system is the ability to slice and dice through data.
Yeah.
And the very traditional approach, there's really two traditional approaches to doing this. One is classic OLAP. You put all of your data into a relational database and you do joins to get the insight you need. It turns out, unfortunately, that relational databases, as we all know, joins are slow, and many of those queries can take minutes in some of the traditional MPP architectures. The other approach that people often take is they will think about all the possible aggregations, roll-ups, or drill downs, all the possible combinations of dimensions they might be interested in, and they will pre-compute those answers and store those answers in a key value store, like HBase or Cassandra. The disadvantage there, the advantage is it's fast. You start to get order, one lookup time for all of your queries. The disadvantage is it doesn't scale very well because the number of combinations, if you're interested, for instance, in knowing every possible aggregation of country, gender, ad format, device type, very quickly the number of combinations gets very large.
Sure.
So that's why those arbitrary combinations is a really important part that the Druid data store supports, because we do it fast.
So speed and flexibility kind of come hand in hand with it, right?
Exactly.
Okay. Can you walk me through the decision process for building your own database? I mean, did you fight against that conclusion for a while?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It felt like a crazy idea when we decided to go down that path. I mean, the story really is that it's a story that Eric Cheddar told here yesterday on stage. We started with a relational data store. And we had a product and it had a requirement. And the requirement was every query should come back in less than 1 second. We couldn't achieve that with the relational data store. We then did take a key value store approach, and that did not scale very well. And we thought, are we crazy? But we looked around, and Eric Cheddar, who's the creator of Druid, is a talented guy, and he was able to get something going pretty quickly that demonstrated this probably was the right path for us. And I also believe that if we didn't build it, somebody else out there would have.
Right.
So it was kind of an opportunity and time and place, and I think we were the first to just take the dive.
You arrived at that destination and were willing to go through with it, right? So last question for you. Where are we sort of in the maturation of real-time analytics? I mean, is it a kid? Is it a toddler? Where are we?
So, on the one hand, we've been here for a long time, in the sense that many of the architectures that we're developing now, as web companies, I think have been developed already decades ago in places like Wall Street and telcos. The difference today is that things are cheaper. And things have been, we've got cloud, we've got virtualization, we've got commodity hardware. And I think that in terms of web companies adopting real-time analytics, I think it still is very early days, and there are a lot of choices that companies can make and a lot of complexity that companies face when attempting to architect a real-time system from scratch. So I think, there is a new, I guess I would say it's a generational question. You ask, are we a toddler or are we, an adult? I think there are some aging real-time systems out there and there's a lot of wisdom we can learn from that older generation. But I would say we're still very much in the adolescent phase for this next generation of real-time technologies, and that's very exciting. And we're happy that Druid, and we're hopeful that Druid can play a role in that next generation.
Great. Thank you for being with us.
Thanks, Mac. Thanks for having me.
Bet.